Thanks for joining us. The first case of Ebola in the United States was confirmed this week, according to the Centers for Disease Control.
The news comes just 2 months after a Coon Rapids man was the first American citizen to die from the disease. CTN's Joe Nelson attended last weekend's memorial service for Patrick Sawyer and joins us now with more. Joe?
Yes, Stephen Karen. Patrick Sawyer leaves behind a wife and 3 young daughters. The day brought tears and inspiration to end Ebola through education and protection. As a Liberian diplomat, Patrick Sawyer was on a mission to help his home country, sacrificing time away from his wife Decontee and their 3 young daughters in Coon Rapids.
He goes, I'm doing this for us and I have to do this. And so I supported him, and it was hard.
Things got harder. Earlier this year, Ebola hit West Africa, where Patrick had been working.
I really didn't understand how serious it was.
In July, Decontee came to understand the disease all too well when Patrick's sister died without warning. And 2 weeks later, a series of phone calls changed her life.
She called back not too long ago and said, yeah, he's definitely in Nigeria. He's definitely in the hospital being quarantined, and they're thinking he may have Ebola. A phone call woke me up at 3 a.m. And that's when they told me that he died.
2 months have passed, and a memorial service was held last Saturday in Patrick's honor.
Rest in perpetual peace, my baby boy.
It's not the first time Decontee has felt such pain. She escaped Liberia's civil war at a young age, but her uncle and other loved ones did not.
The Ebola crisis reminds me of that. Like, it takes me back to the Civil War times, because it's the same being here, hearing about what's going on back home, losing loved ones. I lost my husband, losing other family members, and hearing the cries, you know, hearing the stories. But the only difference this time is that I'm not that 11-year-old girl that was helpless and couldn't do anything. I can do something now. I can fight back. I can be a part of the solution.
In a war that cannot be won with guns or bombs, Decontee is fighting with words and gloves. After the service, she launched the Kofa Foundation to offer protective materials and education to Liberians and counseling for grieving families here.
We need to come together as a global community and work together on eradicating Ebola.
We want to reach out to those families and say, we're with you. We hear you, we see you, we are you, and that it's okay to get help.
So far, more than 3,300 people have died from Ebola in this outbreak, and the CDC predicts 1.4 million could be infected by the end of January next year. For more information on how to donate or volunteer with the Kofa Foundation, go to kofafoundation.org. Stephen Karen.
Thank you. Very touching story.